Sacrifice or investment? So many times I've had discussions with people, particularly about how I view things and how I particularly live my life. And there are often discussions around sacrifice and the things that I sacrifice for what I want and my views and what I believe is of value. And I am a very much an all or nothing person. And that's sometimes, well, not even sometimes, a lot of the time, to the benefit of my life. That once I have made a decision and I commit to something, I am all in. I am all in, and that, whatever that may be, is getting done. And that's just who I am as a person. But sometimes that comes at a price because, perfectionism, all or nothing, all that kind of stuff can also be very rough. I'm very harsh on myself, and I have harsh views on life and the world, basically. And sometimes people struggle with that. And that can be a hard thing for people to view because they view how I live my life as a sacrifice. I don't. It's my choice towards the things that I value. And this is where it becomes this question of, and I've spoken about it a few times, what do you value most in this life? What is the most important thing to you? And then if we evaluated your life and we looked at your actions and your choices, would they align? Because more often than not, the answer is no. Your actions speak to a very different level of what's going on. Your actions speak to what you value most, and it's usually not the things that you are saying you value most. And that's a really hard pill to swallow, myself included. It's part of why with this phase, and I'm not going to lie to you, I'm struggling with what I've set for myself on this phase. A lot of it has been stepped up because my actions and what I was saying didn't align with each other. What I was saying is my highest value, my family and providing for them and being the best version of myself. And then the actions I was taking with dopamine chasing and things of this nature weren't aligning. There's the talk and then there's the walk, and they are separate entities. And this is a problem with that we can talk all we want about our values and what's important and what we deem to be our highest priority. But actions speak louder than words. It's like someone who says they're sorry all the time and they're going to change, and yet they keep doing the same thing and over and over and over again. Their words are hollow, and yet they're not taking the actions that are involved. You have to do the actions as well. And that's a really easy thing to say. As I said, a lot of these are for me to work through my own and to call myself out on it. Because I've said to you before, I'm a deeply flawed human being working through this stuff and sharing the journey as I work through this shit that I am going through. But that is one of them, that my values and my actions don't always align. And I'm working on fixing that. That's part of what's going on here, that I am consistently working on myself to fix those issues, to be a better version, to remove my hypocrisy. But we're also human and we have to accept that. But as I said, I'm an all or nothing type of person, so we need to go all in. But one of those questions needs to be asked of yourself when you are looking to change, when you're looking to progress into being the best version of yourself, when you're looking to do better, to be better, that you ask the question of what's my value? Because it's only a sacrifice if you're not gaining anything from it. It's an investment if the ROI is big enough. And for everything I do, for everything I teach, for everything that most people view as sacrifices, I look at it as an investment. I'm investing in my future. I'm investing in my health. I'm investing in my business, in my family, in my relationships, and all these kinds of things, that I will give up societal normal things because that's actually, to participate in those things is actually a detriment to myself. So they are costing me more than they are rewarding me. So you have to look at a cost analysis, reward versus cost analysis when you make these choices. So is going out to drink with my friends, or to have that dessert, or have that meal out, of a higher value than being the healthiest, being the strongest, being the happiest, being the best version of myself? Is that worth more than keeping my word? Is it worth more than the momentum that I'm building from doing this work? And only you can make that decision. And you need to be comfortable with the answer. So if you decide that yes, that is of a higher value to you than the other things on the other side, then great. You have worked out what your value is. But you need to work that out. For me, I need to be the pinnacle of this, the best version I can be, the strongest, the fittest, the healthiest. Lead by example for my kids, for my family, for my friends, for those I serve all around me. For you, I need to be the highest version of this. So no, those things, I am very willing to give them up because they do not serve my highest value. So that's not a sacrifice. And I firmly believe that when we choose things or choose to give up things that will push us towards being the best version of ourselves, and it's awful, and it's a struggle, and you find it near impossible, that is screaming at you that this is a sign that you need to keep going. And as I said, I'm an all or nothing person. And so that's a really hard thing to reach. And you have to be the one who reaches that point. But I was talking to my mother-in-law about this, and she was like, we went out for a birthday lunch, and she's like, surely you can just have some carbs. And I was like, no, I don't eat those. I don't eat processed carbs. End of story. Period. Because that is not who I am. She's like, that's a hell of a sacrifice. And I'm like, it's not a sacrifice. I choose what matters most to me. And this matters more to me than having some meal out. We still went out. I still ate. I still participated in the event. I just don't need the crap on top of it. And this is the difference, that so much of our societal norms are bad for us. And you will be judged because other people cannot give them up, because, as I said, they view them as sacrifices. But the harder it is for you to give it up, the more I feel it is necessary, because you're a slave to your addiction. And I know myself, I am heavily addicted. I am going through incredible withdrawals and struggling with this as I'm trying to be the best version, as I try and give up social media, as I try and give up TV, as I try and give up video games, as I try and give up caffeine, all these kinds of things that I am working towards being the best version of myself, because those things do not serve me. They do not serve my highest value. And yet to the outside world, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you do that? What kind of life is that? And I was like, what kind of life is it without those things? I want to live the best version of myself. I want to live the best life I can. And why is it a requirement that alcohol and dopamine chasing and sedation and things like that is a necessary part of living your best life? It's not. I want to feel my best every day. I want to wake up and feel the best version of myself. I want to be fueled with energy to take that on. And that doesn't always happen because sometimes I make bad choices. Like when I gave up caffeine, that first week was fucking horrendous for me. I thought I was going to die. And I was like, holy shit, you're an addict. And that's a problem. And it was in that moment that I knew that I had to do this and I had to write it out. And there are backslides. There is 100% backslides, and I will do it again. But I cannot let myself get back to that situation where it's that horrendous, that it's that taxing on me. And this is part of it, that we all have these vices in our life. And you need to honestly, with full clarity, undertake and question whether they are serving you. And if the answer is yes, that's fine. But you need to come to that conclusion. You cannot be influenced by society. And it's one of my biggest pet peeves, that society will judge you, that eating healthy is considered dieting, that not eating processed garbage is considered extreme. No, that should be considered the normal. That eating good quality food, that eating in a healthy manner should just be considered normal, not an extreme way of living. That exercising every day shouldn't be considered extreme. It should just be considered the normal. That's what we should all aspire to be. That is what we should all aspire to do. That we should make healthy choices the norm. That we shouldn't pick sedation, and if you don't sedate, that you are a weirdo. No, we should start normalizing healthy life choices, from sedation, from exercise, from nutrition, from all those kinds of things. It should be the norm to do those things. So do not let society judge you into it. And you will be judged 100%, because you are holding up a mirror to those who cannot do those things, who will not do them, who might not even face that they cannot do those things. You are holding up that mirror and shining a bright fucking beacon down on the choices that they make. And consciously or subconsciously, you are showing them that they do not have the strength. You are showing them the flaws that they are living through. And that's okay. You need to be the beacon. You need to live your best life and continue to push forward as the best version of yourself. And you need to ask those questions with true introspection of, are these actions, are these habits, are these addictions serving my highest good, my highest value? And I think the answer should be no. I think the answer should be a resounding no. But only you can determine that. Only you can determine the choices that you want to make and what will matter most to you. So make those choices. Look inside and acknowledge it. And if the answer is that you want to continue with them, that's fine. But at least you've gone through the work. At least then you can have honestly looked inside and gone, yes, I have made a firm decision on what matters most to me. And I am comfortable with that decision. Because if you're honest with yourself, that is the number one thing. And that is what matters most. That you are aware of your choices. And then you can be comfortable with it. I don't fear the judgment of others. I don't care about what others say about how I choose to live my life. Because I know deep inside that I have made the right choice for my life. And then I hope that I can lead by example and I can influence others to lead a better life. But at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that you are comfortable with your choices, that you are comfortable that you have picked your highest good, because that is what matters most. So that's all I have for you. We need to be aware of whether we're choosing to sacrifice things that are important or we're investing into our future. Because I firmly believe that when it comes to health and fitness, that is the greatest thing you can ever invest in yourself. The ROI, the return on investment on your health and fitness, you cannot quantify it. It will change everything, and it will keep on giving. So, that is all I have for you today. Now, if you know that you're ready to invest into your health and fitness, you're ready to invest into becoming the best version of yourself, you're ready to invest into your life and to see drastic changes, not sacrifice, but invest to become the best version of yourself, message me. Let's get you into my 30-day weighted walk. Let's transform your health, your fitness, your body, your confidence, your discipline, all of it. Just 45 minutes a day for 30 days could transform every aspect of your life. So let's make that happen. So message me to throw you into that. Next, if you're not quite ready for that, click the link in my bio, join the Daily Greatness Mail, and grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. Let's see if we can start there. Lastly, if you know someone who can benefit from this, please send it to them. Help me grow this movement. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow along. There's more to come, and I'm going to keep sharing these things as I progress through and I go on this journey together. So I look forward to seeing you then.